first and foremost, I've also noticed, Edward and my team that is here, that we need to do a little more, not even a little, but a lot more sensitization for people to understand PDM in the context of Musevenomics, so in the context of development economics. When I heard Professor, and I'm sorry to keep on referring to you, I want to be politically correct, in a condescending voice, condescending presentation of some of the programs of the president and the ideas and opinions he has over the economy. I then realized that we need to be more practical than theoretical. I realized that sitting in conferences and swinging on chairs in our offices and lecture rooms may not necessarily be helpful. And it's very good that this particular documentary of Sssozi, among the very many documentaries we can play for you here, in different parts of the country and regions of the country, success stories. It's very good that it played and there was practical evidence. A person who got 1 million shillings, the 1 million shillings, the likes of Professor think is little money, think that is peanuts, think that is tokenism. That 1 million shillings transforming someone's life, one that had lost hope, one that was vending all over the country, decided to go back home, borrow 1 million shillings and make 16 million shillings in 8 months. I don't know whether you call that tokenism. And I think we should be a little more serious. And I'm sorry, I'm going to concentrate on Professor for one reason. If we could use your presentation skills, your acumen in convincing, not a very good way of convincing people, I think that's how we approach. But use it positively. Let's try to use it positively. And for me, when I was starting the presentation and the historical background, I mentioned two fundamental issues. The first one was the purpose of leadership. Each of us here, because of the peculiar positions we hold in society, we're all leaders. Now, leadership requires that you understand and diagnose the problems of the society. Have an ideology, strategy, and plan of execution. What exactly were we trying to solve here? We are trying to reduce on the subsistence in the country. These people are dependent, and I gave you statistics. We have 51% that is soon getting into the so-called productive age demographics, but we haven't planned for them. These underage, the ones who are below 16 years of age, they're the dependents. But even the 49%, out of those 49%, 38% of them are living subsistently. You look at our revenue collection. Unfortunately, we don't have a URA person here. And you tell me the biggest taxpayers, or even the tax base we have here in Uganda. Who are the people who pay taxes? 0.8% of that population pays taxes, or at least contributes to the revenues and the so-called taxpayer, the money we are talking about. The money that you want to invest in big industrial projects, big infrastructure projects. So, how are we going to widen the tax base? How are we going to get people involved in the money economy? However small it is, however little the contribution will be, there will be in the money economy and baby steps. For us, Abaganda have a saying that kamukamu gwe muganda adiringa n'amawulire agajjamu omukuto, that small sticks will create a bundle. And that if you keep on doing something over and over again, just changing modus operandi here and there with a similar objective, you will finally get satisfied and get results out of it. I also don't believe in some of the quotes we put here. But anyway, opinions are like noses, everyone has one. So I have an opinion, you have an opinion, and many people have opinions. But let us try to respect leadership and something that is very conceptual, like something that we conceived under the PDM. Now, enough of that ranting. I would like to, first of all, thank you, DF, for this opportunity to have a feedback or an interaction with the academia and the elite of this world, of this particular part of the world. But I want to tell you something. There is a school of thought that says agrarian economies are backward and moribund. That for you to have to move, to leap from third world into a developed world and to first world, you have to go away from agriculture and get into services and industry, like many people say. But you see, I have a different school of thought. These people that are advocating, all that use that particular methodology in the West, do not have a peculiar advantage in the agriculture sector. They don't. They don't have the good weather. They have to invest a lot for them to get high yields and productivity out of agriculture. It's not their peculiar entrepreneurial roadmap that they can take. For us, we have that advantage. We do have that advantage. And food is a basic need. If you feel that you want to go and take on their journey with different parameters, because they were premised on different parameters, their journey was premised on different parameters and different situations. Ours is different. I don't believe in that school of thought. So, ladies and gentlemen, I like debating. I like debating, but probably this is not the right time to debate, most especially with the sugar levels really going low. But I am very happy and enticed to actually do much more than we are doing to prove the naysayers wrong. And Professor, before I leave, no bad feelings, I really need to get your number and we have a debate. For even if you want to lecture, if you want, it's okay, you can lecture me, but we shall have a debate up to morning, if that is the whatever. And you would also want to be there. My mom would also want to be there. So there are so many things I would have wanted to say today, but I will just leave it with one last thing. That our next battle in the PDM, after establishing and doing all these things that you're seeing, is to change the way we are doing things. We market sourcing and creating proper targeted value chains. You see, he was talking about the potatoes. I went to Mandela and I told him there are so many PDM farmers in Kabale who are organized in these enterprise groups with so many potatoes. He told me, fine, give me someone. Go with him. When I got there, the man said, bring all of them, put the sacks there. Out of like 10 sacks, the man picked out 4 potatoes, 4, and said, this is what I can buy. And I asked him why. He said, this is the variety I need. The rest, I don't know what they're going to do. You know, potatoes have very many different varieties. Those that make chips, those that make crisps, those that make mashed potatoes, you know, they're all different. But we have a very, very undeveloped value chain right from supply up to the market. It's not jointed. There are only 2 commodities in Uganda that we have developed a very well thought out value chain. That is milk of course with the intervention of the president, and coffee. Probably maize to some extent, but even coffee not yet. We haven't yet reached there, but at least it has some semblance of organization. The rest, it is to whom it may concern. And there is no way we can make things work that way. So our next battle is market sourcing, targeted value chains, developing targeted value chains, and value chains that have some good chivalry. And of course, putting there the enablers. Now the enablers are things like extension services. But extension services from government may not be enough. We need extension services driven, community-driven extension services. And that's why we are introducing something called community-based facilitators. Anything that is community-driven will yield results even faster, but more sustainably than something that is imposed on you. That's why the PDM is promoting the bottom-up approach. So, Professor, one last thought. Hairdressing, sir. Hairdressing. And what was the other one saying? Is a skill, a tailoring is a skill. No, you don't, because we listen to you. We will respond later when we meet. It is a skill. The intention and the objective is to make people get some income. That is it. So it is just encourage us to have the skill. You're the ones who say we have a very unskilled population and it is very difficult to get jobs for them. We are now going to skill them, then we'll be taking. But anyway, it is a very good discourse that we have had. And thank you very much for the time you've given this presentation and the time you've given to the conference. So thank you very much. And Edward, thank you for the opportunity.